Damn, mad thing. That is not for show. I hope everyone's hit the like button, subscribed, and done all of those good things. Most importantly, people, deluded, I'm back again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. Arsenal have apparently signed 2 Ecuadorian wonderkids, and you know I don't use that word lightly, people. They genuinely are, man. Them Quintero twins, they're 16. They'll arrive at 18. We need to take time. But Berta, and everybody involved, not even just Berta, the scouts who have probably done numerous written reports on Donny, big up yourselves, because we needed to move like this. When I see what we're doing in the transfer market, bringing in header scouting, bringing in some emerging talents like these 2 Ecuadorians, and obviously the Irish lad that we're getting, Victor, he played in the under-17s World Cup. I'm happy with that. We all know how difficult it is kind of to accept the performance against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Their fans are waxing lyrical. We're vexed. Last time I checked, there's a share of the spoils, but fair enough. You lot are in the title race. So if Arsenal don't win it, we're not alone in bottling it, in it, even though we're not even going to put that into the air. Mikel Arteta is naturally on the eve of us playing against Brentford, offered his press conference, and he's spoken about injuries. So we'll see exactly what he's had to say there. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share your thoughts. Don't forget to turn on your notification bells. Tomorrow, after Arsenal versus Brentford, we'll have a reaction stream. There won't be a watch-along from myself, but we're back on watch-along duty on Saturday, where I think we're playing Aston Villa, 12:30. And that's a good question off the bat. Do you think it's the right time to rotate? Do you think Arsenal should rotate? Because I'll be real, I don't think we got time for that. I understand it, we're people are getting injuries, people are leggy and stuff, but we need 3 points. This is the belly of the beast, and I'm sure these players want to play. I'm jumping ahead a bit, but Wolves is the only one I'm looking at for rotation. Now, when I say rotate, some of you, I guess, you might want to see a whole different 11. You might want to see a little bit of rotation. You might only want to see 1 or 2 players. Even where Calafiori is concerned, he gets one more yellow card, he's ruled out of the Villa game. So do you play Mascara and Saliba and Hincapié left back? Do you put Lewis Skelly in and have Mascara and Hincapié centre half, depending on what's going on with Saliba as well? And then naturally in the game, you filter things out, you move things about and whatnot. Brentford are no little fish. They're no little men. They're a very difficult team to beat. Whatever you say about Brentford, they're flying high. They're doing well. I'm not going to say they don't care about Thomas Frank, but post Thomas Frank Brentford, people had them as a shoe-in to go down and get relegated. They lost their captain, they lost their manager, and they're keeping it moving. Keith Andrews, set piece coach, so I'm sure it'll be interesting to see. The last time we played against a team that was equally as good as us or nearabouts at set pieces, we conceded on Sunday. So there's a lot of food for thought. And realistically, Brentford don't care about Arsenal's first world problems. They don't care about Arsenal needing to get 3 points and do all of this stuff. It's a London derby. You need to win. We need to get back on the horse and generate momentum, because when it's all said and done, there has been bumps on the road. I do always kind of think, in the same way I think Newcastle's a turning point, I think there's plenty for our squad and our gaffer to have learned in the first half against City, second half against Liverpool, all of the Sunderland game. If I'm honest, more game management, but a lot with the recent Chelsea game. But that being said, you know what? When you look at where we've dropped points to Chelsea, who were second in the league at the time. A draw is not the worst result. We drew against, it feels like a loss, Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. And at the time, Liverpool were not as bad as they are now. We lost to the reigning champions, and we dropped points against an informed Sunderland. I make no excuse. Do not see that as a cop-out and saying bury your head in the sand. But it's not like we're losing against little man or teams that are either good teams with great managers and in good moments. So that being said, we've been dealing with injuries since August up until now. Obviously, I think we've not lost in 17 games. Long may that continue. We're still top of the table. We would have loved for an even more extended points gap. Either way, even if we did beat Chelsea and we had an even bigger points gap, still need to keep your feet on the floor. We all know how, and happy new month, by the way, people. If it's the last month of the year, hope this year's been great for you. Hope this month is better than last month. And actually, I hope bigger and better for all of you lot. But my point of mentioning December, bro, you all know the run of games. We all know how peak November to really the whole season, but November to coming out of January. You just, if you care enough, open up another tab and look at the fixtures. Wolves is the only game, and even that's going to be techie. And you know what? I can see us dealing with everybody this calendar month. Wolves might be the one that goes a bit left. They're fighting for their lives. But I mentioned Wolves with the greatest of respect. That's the only game I can see and really entertain. All right, cool. You might be able to be a bit more adventurous with any potential rotation, people. But as a man said, smash the like button and big up you lot. Chelsea are doing victory laps over a draw, but we aren't a good team apparently. Brother, All people do is talk about Arsenal. They're happy, all they're doing is we're only 3 points off Arsenal, 5 points off Arsenal, this off Arsenal. Oh, they tell them the footballs are mind games because we get the celebration police nonsense. We got told we're showing too much emotion. People are onto us when we drew against Manchester City with 10 men. And they're waxing lyrical about them. Now, don't get it twisted. If I was a Chelsea fan, away from the obvious, just in terms of the performance, there's enough encouragement to take in that game moving forward. For Arsenal, obviously, that was our poorest performance in a while, really, if we're completely honest. But you need those moments. This is what football's about. But no one can tell me they don't rate my team because all they do is do mathematical points. All they do is speak about my team. We're that good. We're not good. No one can stop us. Everyone can stop us. We're bottlers. Nobody rates our players. The minute some right winger or central midfielder in particular or centre half, they compare them to us, and that's one thing I love. People have stopped, they still do the Saka nonsense. They're shutting up about Rice a bit. Nobody is doing nonsense about Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes. We've seen so many peasant centre halves compared to them, but neither here nor there, man. We just keep it moving, man. If we didn't want them to be bullish, we should have won, and we didn't do enough. Let's be real. All things considered, you're playing a 10-man side. And it never looked like that against Chelsea. I personally think we was too risk averse. Now, granted, we could have went for it, but I genuinely think, and check out the last video I actually updated, I actually think Arteta, in hindsight, watching the game again, before a ball was kicked, I think we approached the game on a risk averse thing. Like, not that it's a bad thing, but we came into it. If you can't win, don't lose type of rhetoric. Obviously, the way Chelsea started versus us, I think that even fed more into what Arteta was doing. The red card, for me, 9 times out of 10, and what I've become accustomed to, barring the Chelsea game under Mikel Arteta recently, when we smell blood, we kind of went for it, but he got even more risk averse. And again, the players clearly weren't good enough on the day as well. Everybody's got to share the W's, L's, and whatnot. Why Arteta done that or was risk averse, I don't know, because regardless of what players were there or not there, I think every one of those players could have done a bit more. I think there's enough in the tank from the manager's tactics and the players to get a more positive result against Chelsea. And I would have maintained that had we have scumbag to go at the end and ran away with it. So there's food for thought for both teams. Obviously, there was no you didn't have your 2 first choice centre halves. You didn't have your left hand side fixed up. Calafiori and Trossard have been in a good moment. Obviously, Marino is deputizing. There is a bit of minutes, there's minutes in the legs, people are tired. So these are all necessary factors and could have painted a bit of a picture. But I don't want anyone to misconstrue and make out that I'm making excuses. That's just trying to call it as I see it. Come on, man. Lateness is greatness. Allow me, man. Allow me. I've been running around London to get back here for 4 p.m. Allow me. Signing highly rated youngsters from South America feels like I'm playing FM. Pardon me. Long may it continue, bro. Long may it continue. Twin powers activate. Tell them again, Rob. Exactly, Rob. Tell them again, man. We've got super deluded Gooner. He knows exactly what we need. Consistent uploads, being late every show. DG Nation won the Champions League. Big up you lot, man. Yo, fool, man. Big up yourself, man. Yo, fool. Appreciate it, man. I don't know what to say, man. That threw me off. That was funny. ITV ready, my brother, onwards and upwards. Appreciate that. Again, join me, 5 p.m. Me, Culture Cams. We're going to be on, and a couple others, Miles, we're going to be on ITV at 5 p.m. Friday because it's the World Cup draw where they were kind enough to invite me and everybody else. So, yeah, and that's why I have to big up you lot. Anyone that's ever fucking hit the like button, offered some positive words of encouragement, subscribed, put their friends on, any denomination of support, no matter how consistent or whatnot. Without you lot, and this is why can never snake the tribe, the DG Nation, because when they rub me out, you've been here in it. So I appreciate you lot. We couldn't be there, and it's poetic because we started off an iPhone. Again, some people will get it, some people won't. Pigeons, that word or that animal, it's not going to make sense to some, it's going to make sense to others. So honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you lot, man. But this is why, man, we need to get more aggressive people. This is like the year Arsenal ran the City thing to the last game of the season. More likes, more subscribing, more sharing, more boosting the algorithms, folks. We need a tribe. We've got a good club. We need that now. So, yeah, keep it going. Edu signed Marquinhos, but he was never rated highly. Hopefully, the Twins can be an asset for us. Brother, I can't forgive Edu for going to South America and rocking up with Marquinhos. And respectfully, I got PTSD from Marquinhos. You're the first player that I don't believe in like judging someone on YouTube, in it, like, because you can make someone look amazing, you can make someone look shit. You are the first player I've looked at in the highlights and said, yeah, this is dead. It's not gonna bang. The highlights were booky. You went to Brazil. We all know the talents that have come out of Brazil and came with Marquinhos, and we never made a profit. Because Marquinhos could have been shit. You bought him for 3 million. If you sell him for 30, he Bob's your uncle. These are the, don't get twisted. I want the Ecuadorian twins or the Irish youth that we're signing who don't want all of these players to progress into the first team. But if they progress into the first team and they're first team players, fantastic. If they progress to the first team and as time progresses, it gets a bit Joe Willocky, Smith Rowe, Tommy Asu, provided for a free Ramsdale and that you've been around, but we're going one way, you're going another. No worries about that. Make a little profit. Or in the worst case scenario, you've probably bought these guys for a couple of thousand or literally a couple of million and sold at a decent profit. Reinvest that. We keep it moving. Find the next ones and keep doing that. And like these guys have been spoken about since they're 12, 13. They're still only 16. We don't typically get these guys like these kind of ones. We have to wait until they're 18, until 2027, so actually they can live here. We need to remember these men are human. Like in the next 12 to 18 months, their priority should be, all right, we're getting our move to Arsenal. Let's keep developing. To my knowledge, at the time of doing this, they ain't made their debuts for their senior club. I could be wrong. So go and get in there. Go and make sure your foundation for when you make that move is as solid as possible. Because realistically, you'd imagine they're going to sign for us. Obviously, dependent on how good or bad they look in training, they're either going to be with the first team. My thing is, I think they're either going to be with the first team training week in, day out, better yet, getting minutes with the 21s, or it's a 21s thing and you're in the first team for training and stuff. Obviously, if the gaffer, whether that's Arteta or someone else, likes you, Bob's your uncle. But we do need to remember these are young men, you know. These are young men. And again, I can't equate the pressure because the club they've come from is widely known in Ecuador as producing talents. And if they've been watched from 12, 13, 14, and now 16, there is a lot of hype. And you'd imagine their Instagram's flooded and, you know, everyone sees them as the Messiah already type of thing. So there is a bit of correlation coming to England. But they're going from that, having that, to playing for Arsenal Football Club. Exciting young wonder kids. You know, man are saying their Neymar and all of these things. Like, Edwin's a very... On YouTube, Edwin's probably the one out of the twins that will excite you lot the most. Like Bobby Dazzler, in it, right-footed left-footed right winger. Apologies, cutting all of that. But Holger's a very decent central midfielder. They're very good. I've got a video coming out for that. But you got to remember, forget their ability. They're 16. They're 16. So they're going to move to Arsenal, have to deal with all of that. Come from humble beginnings in Ecuador to big London, massive stadium, all that kind of stuff, learning the language, all of these kind of things. So there's a lot for them to have to adapt to. And that's then you sprinkle in the football, the tactics, the technical level, where they're at. Because as much as they're exciting, bro, they're 15, 16. So yeah, man, the rivals are on edge. Imagine Athletic posted a report about fatigue and they thought Arteta said it. See, they want us to fail, man. Hi, Deluded. How are you? I'm good, my friend. Thank you for asking, Tyrone. Do you think we'll win tomorrow? Of course I do. We need rotations, but smart rotations. Like when a lead is there and not just for the sake of it, but this has been a legit Arteta criticism. There you have it there. There you have it there. Smart ones. And I guess how the game goes and ultimately how many like goals we score and putting the game beyond reasonable doubt depends. But rotation, do you risk Saliba? Do you think you've got enough to, like, if Saliba's fit, do you start him, or do you do a thing where, you know what, you be on the bench, we'll take it, you might get a 10, 15 minutes, not that you're rusty, but shake something off. We don't take any risks. We move towards Villa because respectfully to Brentford, you cannot look beyond what's in front of you. Villa, just because Villa are away, and we know the connotations behind that, that's the one I'm like, I imagine we win tomorrow. When we get on the away train again, boy, Arsenal at the start of the season, I said I finally want to win at Anfield. I never got that. I specifically at the start of the season demanded a better performance at Stamford Bridge. And now for the third time in a row, we never got that. But if you win me stuff, you can right those wrongs next season. Villa away, up it, up it, up it. The teams around us have a tougher December, January schedule, in my opinion. Probably, man. Probably. Chelsea, for instance, meet City on the 4th of Jan. But that's after Newcastle and Sunderland away in December. Deluded, your dead food. Fair. You man are dead food. Fair enough, man. Rice and Timber need to come out the team rest. I'm sorry, rightly or wrongly, but when you lot were there in the summer, not you social, but people are like, how many players do you want, man? Look at the midfield, it's mad congested. Even these dumb, like, even a couple, like, I go through the TalkSport comments, even a couple dumbasses, like, someone was like, I can't believe you think you need another left winger. Trossard's in the form of his life. Are you that short-sighted, bro? Are you that short-sighted that you can't see every team can't have enough players? There's bare games, there's injuries, there's all of these kind of things. Please don't chat shit to me. But I'm getting mad now. Trying to stay thingy. I hear you. But I can't lie, man. Rice, if we're gonna have to run him into the ground, bro. This is why I wanted another physical 6 and another 8, if I'm honest with you. But it is what it is, man. Our man said evening DG, B people timing as usual. This guy. Congratulations, DG, on the latest network call up. I appreciate it, but man ain't achieved nothing. We ain't achieved nothing. We ain't done anything yet. Life ain't changed. We keep working, man. The journey's not done. It's like getting that ITV call up, all that Talksport call up, or anything we've done. I'm very appreciative, and it couldn't have been done without you guys. You know, like it could not have been done without you. So never think I'm being ungrateful, but it's a thing where it's like I'm Mikel Arteta. We've just won the North London derby. Everyone's excited. Tomorrow I need to focus on buying. Like that's always been my mindset, which might be bad because sometimes you do have to consider the present. You do, and I do all of that stuff. And it's a bit weird because I do think I'm too neutral. Like when I have bad news or bad stuff or good news and good stuff, it's like I'm kind of the same headspace. I don't know, man. Life will mess you up like that. Berta's moving cold. Eddie was out here signing man like Marquinhos and Pablo Marie. Smash the like button if you haven't. Micah is moving like it's written in the stars. Big up, Unc. Been here since Pigeon Fight Club days. Big up yourself. Allow me with the Unc thing, but big up yourself, man. Hellman, you have, you know. To be fair, these Quintero twins are with, bro. They're wavy, bro. They're wavy. They're wavy. Like I don't know which one I like most, man. Edwin the winger or Holger. I can't pronounce his name. The more central midfieldy kind of player. Like I said, I got a tactical vid coming out for you, but they're wavy, man. Like Holger could easily be a 10 right-sided centre mid. My man could play on the left and the right, bro. It could be mad. It could be mad. It could be mad. Confusing referees. Dons are talking Spanish and swapping swapping positions. Sorry, it could be mad. Eddie more busy barbecuing and sniffing toes than getting South American ballers. Right, sniffing toes. The winger looked more relaxed on the ball. That's the one everybody wanted, it seems. But his brother's more balanced overall skill-wise. Let's see if they make it. Keyword, let's see if they make it. I'd like to see a few rested for tomorrow's game. December is a big month. Need to rotate. I hear you, yeah. And I done myself dirty because I closed the tabs. Lineup builder. Before we get into the press conference and all that, we might as well have a bit of fun. Lineup builder football. What happened here? So let's make 2. So yeah, I actually had them pre-prepared, but let's make 2. Let's share the screen. Let's make sure we're smashing like buttons and all of those things, people. And let's do a lineup for Brentford. Now, Raya, this is going to probably be my first one. David Raya. Ooh, almost dropped that in Capier. Obviously, this is all assuming Saliba is actually about, innit, people? Tim Beasy, bro, especially when these men are in good... Rice and Timber in particular, Lord knows where he'd be without them, but they're in a good moment. It's not that you are wrong. We need to rest. We need to save legs. All of those kind of things, a million percent. But we also need to get 3 points. You put your best players out there, you stand more of a chance. And resting doesn't always have to be from the bench. And I know it's not as easy as this, but like assuming the next 3 games are plain sailing, you might take a man off for half an hour, take this one off at half time, take this one off, you know, in the last 20. Before you know it, you add it up and you equate the fact that football's a 90-minute game or an average 95 to 100, but football's a 90-minute game. And like I said, if you've saved half an hour in the legs here, 50 minutes, an hour, etc., you do the maths, you've indirectly done that. But yeah, Raya, Saliba, Hincapié, Timber, Lewis Skelly, 49, Lewis Skelly. And then a part of me, people, Declan Rice, you've introduced me to a life that I can't go back to, innit? Rice not being there scares me. But in life, you have to take risks sometimes. So then, just hear me out. Ideally, I would say Rice in the lone 6. But then do you do this? Slap Odegaard there. Slap Eze there. Obviously, Bukayo speaks for himself. You could go with Martinelli, but I'd go with Noni personally. And then you slap Gyökeres in. Do you go with that? So Raya, Lewis Skelly, Hincapié, Saliba, Timber, Eze, Zubamendi, Odegaard, Gyökeres, Saka, Madueke. Calafiori probably start is only because of the yellow card. If I'm on being one more yellow card away from suspension. Or do you go slap Eze out there? Obviously, keep Odegaard. Madueke, you're definitely not going to play there. Bring Rice in. Save Saliba. Don't take risks. Think about Saturday's game. I would start Timber, but some of you are calling to rest Timber. So for you lot, we'll slap White in there. Do you go with Lewis Skelly there? Do you potentially, if Saliba's there, put Mascara left centre back? Obviously, Saliba comes back in. Go with Hincapié at left back. Or do you remain with Calafiori? It's moments like this. I'm happy I'm not the gaffer, man. I'm happy I'm not the gaffer. Edwin does look amazing. How dare you suggest a new winger, DG? You're not a real fan. Trust. You can't afford to rotate too much against Brentford, bro. Brentford are not little men in this, bro. Like, Brentford are in a good moment post Thomas Frank as well. Like, I don't look at the league table. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I can't see stuff. But they're 10th. They've got 2 losses in the last 5. Bro, this is not going to be easy. And I'm sure David Raya is going to be up for it. Could David Raya score against his old team? I'm chatting, man. Smash the likes for Caicedo. Red. Big moves, man. Head down. But be proud of your journey, bro. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Jen, I appreciate it. But it's difficult. Like, I ain't done nothing. Like, I ain't achieved nothing. Like, I'm really not trying to be ungrateful, but I think I'm doing all right. Like, I think I'm good. I want to be great. Like, I'm doing okay. Like, so Arteta thing in it right now. Like, we're good. We've got good moments. You need to get over the line. That is one thing I've learned in my last 30, in my 30 years. Like, on my deathbed, I want to just say, yeah, you know, I'm proud of you. Like, I don't think I've ever been proud of myself. But anyways, Arsenal thinks they've signed the next Raphael and Fabio. Bro, both of these young players are lit. And them youngsters were shit as well. It's just United were just United them times. The tabs will always kill me. Bro, allow me, man. Allow me. Holger on the left, Edwin on the right, and Max in the 10 in a few years. Uncle Sax playing false 9 after his levels have gone. It's going to be lit. Now, Bunda potentials from South America get us a better manager. Tranquillo. Rice may need a rest, maybe being subbed, but Brentford will be pacey. Do you take the risk and go Zubamendi, Odegaard, Eze, and then you bring on Rice? Because you know what? Boys, just win the game, innit? Just win the game. Hopefully, it's put to bed at halftime / the hour mark. And you know what? 1 minute he's on using subs, then he's not. At least the conditions will be favourable if that ever happens. I can't lie, it's unthinkable resting Rice. I'm not saying we can't win games, but bro, you have to play, bro. I can't lie to you. You have to play. It's not fair. Life ain't fair, man. If life was fair, we'd all have a lot less. DG, if you was to get a midfielder in January, who would you get? Oh, you put me on the spot. I don't know, man. Maybe that Elche guy, but he's not ready. Do you know what? That Gomez you at Wolves, you know, I'd sniff and see if there's an opportunity there off the top of my head. I don't know. Yeah, Paul Scholes, I don't know. He was biting toenails. I don't know, man. There's weird youths out there. Skelly can't play against Brentford. He's not good aerially. Our backline is actually short. I mean, Lewis Skelly's played against PSG and Real Madrid and all that. Of course he could play, man. And yeah, you know, for Lewis Skelly, he's looked a bit out of rhythm. He could do that, man. I've always said it, and I maintain I don't really care if it's Lewis Skelly, Hincapié, or Calafiori left back. You're all lit. I believe in you lot. I do think he goes Calafiori. Like, in my heart, I think Arteta's lineup will actually be this. Again, Donny might be full of surprises. Why am I typing in Ben White and he's there? I think his lineup will be this. If I'm being brutally honest, that gun to my head, for some reason, I think he's going to save Hincapié for the weekend. But I'll go that. I think Arteta is still going to run out there with Calafiori. I think you two will be out there. Eze, I still think you'll be playing centrally. Noni, I think you're the one. And to be honest, I would, if you're not going to shift Eze out there to get Odegaard in, I would probably go Noni. Fair enough. Martinelli's been injured and that, but he was quite annoying. You weren't like, I'm not trying to make it about one player, but don't think you done really much, if I'm honest with you, against Chelsea. He did do well against Bayern. I think away from the obvious, like my man getting his goal, Nelly getting his goal, and I know Noni did. Since they've both returned, I think Noni's just been a bit better, if I'm honest. And I don't think Gyökeres is. I hope to God Gyökeres is starting, but I honestly think it would be Raya, Mascara, Saliba, Timber, Calafiori, Eze, Zubamendi, Rice, Marino up front, Saka on the right, Noni off the left. Stranger things have happened, though, man. You never know. Yeah, they can't join us until they turn 18. Saliba won't make it. Those two centre-backs need to get used to playing together. They will play. One love, DG. Think we're looking for a new left wing, and for who? God bless everyone. I wouldn't say for anyone in particular, but I would love to have the option of Eze, Madueke out there, Jesus if he's fit out there. Trossard was doing his thing, and I can't tell you who, because Rodrigo even looks scrubby. He ain't scored in like 30 games. A bad boy, game-changing left winger, because I do think we need a couple of those players, yeah, especially when you want to talk about everything we're doing right now and stuff. I think we need a couple players with an air of inevitability, like a Haaland and Salah. And I know it's easier said than done finding these guys, but I think we've got good players, but I don't think we have that. I think Saka's the closest thing we have to that. Like we know what we're getting with Bukayo. Obviously, I think our attacking unit is good, but our attackers are not really inevitable. If there's players with inevitability, it's probably a Tim Beasy, a Gabriel Magalhaes, a Saliba, a Declan twice, these kind of guys. And I think where we're moving, if we could grab a couple of those, it's scary. Rest Timber and Calafiori need them for the Villa game. Oh, but then you're bringing in that. Okay, so I'm not saying it's wrong. And if we waffle about depth, yeah, but all right, take your pick, whoever you want. But I'm going to put Miles Lewis-Skelly, who is a bit out of rhythm, right? Ben White, who's struggled for minutes and, hasn't been afforded a chance for obvious reasons, right? And rightly so, you could caveat that and say, yeah, rightly, like Social Join said, that centre-half pairing, they started for the first time in the league, haven't played that many times together, do need to kind of expose them and make them a good kind of B-choice centre-back pairing. So if you do go with that, which is cool, Arteta's an overthinker. Maybe there was, away from Arsenal versus Chelsea, it's the fact that him and Maresca are boys, they know each other. There was a bit of a reluctance, but in terms of that, maybe he'll put the handbrake even more up. And again, that's a disjointed back line, man. Brentford will expose that, in my opinion. Like, they're not little, man. They got some good wingers. They've obviously got the Brazilian striker who's in my FPL side. I'm not really feeling that, man. Not really feeling that. JD said, oi, DG, congrats, my guy. Oh, why is it not coming up? But you said, congrats, my guy. Levels raising all the time. I'm trying. Got to be delusional to achieve anything in life. We got Norgard there, man. He's got to play sometime. To be fair, these are the moments when you're up against your old team. But for me, there's too many players that have come out the cold now, if I'm honest. Like, Noni's trying to get back into the rhythm of things. Like, Miles Lewis-Skelly will be out there trying to get in the rhythm of things. Hincapié and Mosquera already, but they're trying to understand each other. White is clearly mad rusty. I'm not in it, man. I can't lie. Norgard, I like Norgard, and I understand you're right, because that was the one thing we were saying in the summer. These kind of moments, plug Norgard in, play him in these kind of games. But is it just me, or is Norgard, maybe it's the fact that he's at Arsenal and all of that stuff now, but is he a bit more timid than you lot remember? Because I thought he looked a bit more, whenever we played Brentford, you looked a bit more ferocious and tigerish. Remember, you almost brought Martinelli's leg. He looked a bit like a pussycat. And the thing is, who do you go? Do you go Zubamendi and Norgard? Or do you go Rice and Norgard? I can't lie. I think Rice needs to play. I'd love Ulysses in January, but it's going to cost top whack, man. Calafiori will start. He was rested against Bayern. It's not even arresting for me with Calafiori. Obviously, that's a factor. Is if you pick up a yellow card, which is probably likely tomorrow, pick up Calafiori, you're not playing against Villa. So I'd prevention better than cure. Like, I'd rather just, you sit down today, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Hincapié, whoever you want, you lot sort that out over there, man. Keep Marino as a false nine. He's crap in midfield. Just the opposition ain't for Skelly off the bench if we are controlling, but he can't start this. It's not Big Gabby out there. It's two centre-backs weak aerially. You know what? I'm not going to lie. You're right still. That is one area that could get exposed, but you know what? Well, that's a weakness. Let's double down on the strength. Miles Lewis-Skelly, get the ball, drive forward, do that wavy inverted left-back stuff. Hincapié, Warrior, Mosquera, you know what to do. It's Gustavo, more or less. Let's do our job, man. Yokerez is just another Hazelin. I'll take your word for it, man. I'll take your word for it. We just mentioned the tabs and the chair because DG Nation is here for it all. I'm waiting for Miss DG to show up. That's going to upstage everyone. Not me. Not me. She ain't going to upstage me, but where the hell is she? But yeah, you know what? Find that. Rob, you're funny, man. Has DG apologized to Reece James yet? James versus Timber Rice. SLD, stop making up lies, because I've never got at Reece James. Like, hold me accountable, but stop making up lies. What's man talking about? Hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss streams or uploads. We need this. Keep Odegaard on the bench. This guy slows the attack too much. DG, the other DG, is there anyone that you want to play? Is there anybody that you favor at this team? Is there anything? It's almost Christmas. I'm not inviting you to the DG Nation Christmas party. You're going to dead the vibe. You're going to scare the gal. They're going to want to go home. You're the sort of guy who'll be patting in. They all want to. I need to talk very politically, but you know what time it is. The pattern is getting patterned. They're saying they want to leave and you'll ruin it. You're not fun, man. Come on. If Saliba's fit, White, Saliba, Mosquera, Hincapié, okay, you're all right. I judged you too far, man. I think Mikel wants Rodrigo. I see why he's good in tight space. He's Trossard-esque, but I don't like his mentality. I think a lot of Arsenal fans, away from obviously being gassed about getting Rodrigo, they'll be very critical of, oh, yeah, you finally accepted that Real Madrid wanted you gone. You wanted to sit on the bench. I know it's a bit out of context, yeah, but he's gone like 30 games without scoring or something like that. That's scrubby. Koyonde long throws versus Mosquera, Hincapié, and MLS. I'm actually sick to my stomach just thinking about, my scouts, you see? It's like I'm the gaffer, you lot are the recruitment team. You're right, You're right. We might just have to hold that one and double down on what we're good at. But you're right. But with what you're saying now, shit, Calla, you know what, Calafury, just please. In fact, Calla, just be you in it. I know you're gonna get a yellow card. I know you're gonna get a yellow card. We can't afford. We can't afford not to rest players in this game. It's a tough week considering who we have playing. Fair enough. Fair enough. Half watching, haven't like. Come on, tell them again, man. So much, man, coming back. We kind of have to regel the chemistry all over again. Yeah, we do. But right now, I need to see the players fit because we're always, and I try and not, you don't think I'm trying to be a demi downer all the time, but it's like the minute it feels like the stars are aligning and a group of players are coming back because we've seen this, boom, in this case, Magalhaes gone, Trossard gone, just says, yeah, oh, yeah, Noni's back, Kai's back, this one's back. It's the nature of the beast. Norgard would have been better for the Chelsea game than Zubimendi. You sure? Norgard will mash work. I don't know when, but he'll mash work at some point. I'm cool with Norgard. I just need you to be a bit more of a beast. Teta don't rate Norgard. That's harsh. I think he does, man. Start with Rice and take him off 65 minutes for Norgard. I hear that. I'm with that. I'll go Norgard and Zubi. Need Rice rested for Villa away. Hey, Rice is a Spartan, man. I think he was a better signing. I can't lie. Moss can start. Yeah, but then I hear that. But Mascara's a better signing. Same way. He plays him. Musk can start him against them and save the big dogs for the Villa game. Yeah, but Brentford are big dogs as well. They're not, you lot are talking about long throws. We know about their ethos. They're in a good moment. Obviously, you know, Arsenal fans, we win. We're the best thing since sliced bread. We the last two draws we've had, bearing in mind our fans were losing their heads before a ball was kicked in the Premier League because of the transfer window. And obviously, when we lost the North London derby in Asia, you imagine what's going to be happening. And at the end of the day, 5 points is great, but it's not the biggest of gaps, man. So for me, to a part of me, it's not that you're wrong. You know, we're talking about the Calafury yellow and Rice needs a rest and all these things. They're not. It's not that they're not relevant and it doesn't make sense. You might just have to take the risk, man. Just grab. Hey, I can't lie. Just grab the 3 points. Anything else, we'll deal with it. But Rice will make me give up on not winning silverware if Rice gets injured. Like, don't get twisted. We still have to fight. Still have to try a thing. Not doing this pussy old thing. But that's the one we can't afford to lose. Like, you lose Rice. As I've said many a times, for me, if that's the case, we might just do the Wenger ball thing. Just commit to it. Zubi, loan 6. Eze, Odegaard, work it out. And I know Norgard could come in, but come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. Let's be serious, man. Yeah, Yildiz is nice. Always been a fan. He always makes something out of nothing. They're not letting him go in, Jan, man. Sell Norgard and get Bruno G from Newcastle. I'd love that, but then we have to slap ourselves and wake up. Gyökeres needs to tie his boots for starters. Gyökeres should start this game. We need to play Norgard more. You just cannot throw players in immediately. Arteta needs to have balls for rotation, else we will crumble because of injuries. I hear it. DG coming for the other DG. What's going on, blood? I would ease Gyökeres back in and use him as a sub. He just came back from injury. If Odegaard starts, we don't win. What kind of negative nonsense is that? Big up everyone. I don't get this Odegaard hype, to be honest. He always slows our attack down and can't make a through ball to save his life. Okay, Odegaard doesn't have to be your favorite player, but we don't need to lie. Pardon me. Awful when he came on versus Chelsea. Reminded me how he can't be captain anymore. Awful. He weren't mate. Awful. Man, I hated on Odegaard. He definitely wasn't awful. Definitely. Odegaard has to play. Apparently, we have never played Gyökeres, Eze, Saka, Rice, Odegaard, and Zubi once. Crazy. Gyökeres, Eze, Saka, Rice, Odegaard, Zubi. We must have, man. But then it's believable because Odegaard's probably shagged it with his injuries. For me, Raya, White, Saliba, Mosquera, Hincapié, Rice, Zubi, Eze, Madueke, Gyökeres, Saka versus Brentford. Yes, I'm sure Zubimendi folds under pressure. All right, G. He's only what helped. He only played a star role off the bench for his country, Spain, and he's only been a central piece to what we're doing. What crumbled under what pressure? Is Atletico Madrid pressure? Is Bayern Munich pressure? Or when his bad games have happened, typically everybody's dropped points or everyone's been bad. What's man talking about? No Zubi slander over here. No Odegaard slander over here. Like, you can criticize them, but man are overdoing things. I'm not the guy who lets 2 games change my opinion on a player. Zubi is still signing of the season. Zubi isn't signing of the season for me at all. He's on fraud watch. Fair enough. I hear that. I wouldn't say fraud, but you're wording it mad, but you want to see more. For me, I think Zubimendi, when the games are mad, I wouldn't even say the Chelsea game in particular, but you know them typical Premier League games. So in Zubimendi's case, I do think all of the team, but City, definitely Liverpool, Um, he stood up tall against Newcastle, but he could say that Chelsea, they're them culture shock games, in it. He's better when it's a chess match and we're doing the, you know how. Let's have it right. The Chelsea Arsenal game, away from the others, that was like a kind of a throwback game. There's tackles flying in. It's relatively end to end. 9 times out of 10 in the Premier League, it's just some chess match thing. That's Zubi in his element. I said when we signed Zubi, I love the guy. He's going to change our lives. I stand on all of that. I believe all of that. But I said we're 3 signings away from having a complete squad. You know, argued with me. I said there's scope for 2 more centre mids. There's definitely scope for, you might, listen, you can't go and source Declan Rice, but you can get me a physical number 6 that can plug and play where required. We can get another 8 to flirt in the squad, whether you want to rest Rice, who is playing in the 8, dash on that another 8, or have that Spanishy Santi Cazorla kind of 8, Rice doing his 8 stuff, one of Rice or Zubimendi regulating, or the many other options. And I mentioned left wing as well. City will beat Fulham. We need to beat Brentford. So then go with the best team. Yeah, Brentford are not idiots, man. We don't know who's actually available with Arteta's talk days. I can't lie, Arteta it's just mind games, man. It's mind games. I say start Norgard, and if we're struggling, change at halftime. Our depth needs testing. Yeah, but what if the game's gone away from us? Who's getting injured next? Let's say that. Everybody just start praying. Game by game, boys. Shout to the pool fan. No ifs, buts, or maybes. I deal in absolutes. But we have a lot of games to play in December, so Arteta has to rotate. We can't risk getting players injured or burnt out. True, probably has to start a couple of different players against Club Brugge, even though I'm not sure that's the best port of call. Wolves is definitely an opportunity to do such. And yeah, you're just going to have to play it crazy. Crazy stat. The points gap between us and City is the same as the points gap between City and Brentford. We have to take them seriously. There's only a couple of points separating 2nd and 8th. You know that, innit? You know that, innit? This is now only the period. We've just entered it after the international break where the season really is going to start to take shape. Whatever you think about, if I just say some random names, Brentford, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Arsenal, City, Chelsea, Manchester United. If I just say random teams and ask you, like, what have you made of these teams, whether you support the teams or not, there's different talking points. Then you go and look at the league table, bro. There's no space, really. There's no space. Because Chelsea are in the title race. They actually started, and I don't know why their fans are waffling about the draw, because they've actually gone down in the table. He actually not beating us actually helped City, but there's 5 points. That can change very quickly between 1st and 2nd. Chelsea are in the title race. They're a point behind City. And if Chelsea are in the title race, we're being a bit silly with it, but to get the point, Villa, they're level on points with Chelsea. So you can see how much of a big game beyond the obvious and what we've already been talking about going into Saturday. But we're going to waffle about Saturday when the time is right. At this moment in time, we can only do what's in front of us, which is Brentford. Brighton have been flying. Sunderland was 2nd once upon a time, taking a bit of a wobble, and we therefore hope they beat Liverpool, but they're 6th. For all the talk about Man United and Amrin, they're ahead of Liverpool. Liverpool are just about in front of Palace. All the talk on Brentford beat us. They're leapfrogging Liverpool and putting pressure on United. Bournemouth, you would have Bournemouth. When I think of the name Bournemouth, or when I said Bournemouth, I was like, yeah, they're doing their thing this season. Oh, Spurs, naturally, away from just me calling them shit for obvious reasons, we support Arsenal. Look at that. There's a point separating them. Newcastle, no one ain't really making it. They're struggling a bit. 13 games. I said in August, and I maintain this every year, from August, the 1st game, until the 10-game mark, that is, it's not a free hit, but you're kind of feeling yourself out. You know, you're chasing, the team is chasing its way into fitness. Obviously, you have to go and get results. See, from game week 10 be onwards, this, as cliche as it is, now the season started. So if we consider that's game week 10, there's been 3 games of the proper season, if that makes sense. Pep says this as well. If you don't want to believe an armchair expert, Pep Guardiola, who knows more about football than you, me, and everybody, you get it. So you have to take everybody seriously. Relegation race, we might finally see one. My unpopular opinion, off topic, yeah, I'd make a relegation playoff. I don't know how it would work, but could you just imagine if nothing changed, yeah, Wolves remain 20th on 2 points all season. There's a relegation playoff. They win the playoff. They've stayed in the league. Drama, lad. Drama. I didn't say he's the same player, but you can't tell me Odegaard was shit against Chelsea. Odegaard needs to back up his ideas, but it was prior to the North London derby. A lot of people are, oh my God, Eze's not a left winger, man. When Odegaard comes back in, he's going to be all right. When Odegaard played well against Olympiacos and Newcastle in his cameos, everyone was waxing lyrical. Then he got injured. I understand the whole I don't care about it, because at the end of the day, Odegaard's our captain now, isn't it? Like, I wouldn't have given the captaincy. He's that. No one's going to give a flying fuck about Odegaard being the captain if him and everyone else is doing their jobs. What we're not going to do is act like a man's a bad footballer. We don't need to lie and say a man slows the play down and he's mad rubbish and all of that. If you don't think he's good enough, if you don't think he's the same player, all of these things are general. I don't know Odegaard from nowhere, you know. So I'm not backing him ridiculously. I just don't like nonsense. It's nonsense to say otherwise. I know the guy's going to shout you, hey, class region, man. You know what? Hit me, not the players. If we're not sitting here a month from now and you ain't changed your tune, at least for that month on Odegaard, I don't know, innit? I donate some money to charity, man. DG, I'm thinking what happens when Havertz is back fit. Does he go straight back into the team? He's probably the one that's going to have to be him and Jesus drip fed minutes, innit? Because he's clearly taken some level of what's the word? Like a delay on his return. What exactly did Odegaard do besides look busy, DG? I'm not saying he was amazing. I just think you came on and you injected something. I think you injected something. You pressed, you got between the lines, you tried to make something happen. I think you were one of our better attacking players against Chelsea. And that's where a game where no one was amazing. I'm definitely not suggesting that. Marino stunk up the gaff. He happily scored. Madueke, I think with Odegaard, you brought something. You looked a bit more proactive. It still weren't good enough. Martinelli stunk out the gaff. Saka going through the motions because on one hand he did kind of put Cucurella on the burners and he did get the assist. But he could have scored a couple chances. I won't get onto him for that first chance. Literally, I think Eze's played in the ball in the first half, but second half, I do like the fact that you want to score goals in that, but the shooting was dead, innit? That's all I'm saying, you know. Man, sleep on pre-assists. Boy, Odegaard's a boss, my class vision, man. I can't count Zubamendi's mistakes in an Arsenal shirt since he signed on one hand. Zubi is top class. Zubi's a Champions League player. I want Norgard in the Prem. So you want to start Norgard ahead of Zubamendi. All right, so 10 games. You've got the option of, regardless of how it pans out, Norgard next to Rice, because everyone's going to start Rice. Norgard next to Rice for 10 games, maybe even more if you want, or Zubamendi. Yeah. You can think he's trash, but you're lying. Odegaard is trash. He looks good / busy on the ball, but he doesn't really do anything with the ball. Even though Eze has less involvements, he makes bigger difference in the moments. They both need to do more across 90 minutes, if I'm honest with you, but they're part of the squad. That's all I care about. Unless your name is Declan Rice, Gabriel Magalhaes, Saliba, Jurien Timber, Bukayo Saka. I might have missed one out. Those are my untouchables. Like, you are the guys. Calafiori, form out of this world. For this year, you're not doing nothing wrong. Trossard, before his injury, you always have to be there until you get injured. We're going to, whether you rate Odegaard, Marino, Trossard, Jesus, Kai Havertz, even the names that I think I genuinely believe everybody rates, all the Arsenal play, like you know what I said with the Saliba and all them guys. Even if you don't rate them, put your feelings to the side. Every one of these players is a tool in that toolbox to see us do what we need to do in May 2026. After that, whoever needs to fuck off, fuck off. Odegaard always makes himself look busy, but then ends up passing back. It's frustrating to watch. I definitely think Odegaard could force the issue a bit more. But if you can't go forward, you have to go back. And we're not going to lie and act like Odegaard doesn't have some qualities in the press, in tight spaces, keeping us with possession. Eze don't really do that. Eze's got the moments over Odegaard. Eze's not really involved in the 90 minutes like that. And I want to get both of these players and demand more. It wasn't like Odegaard played a mad pass to Saka, just gave it to man, and then Saka did the work all himself. Go watch the game again. Go watch that phase of play again. Hate to say it, but Pai would have been perfect. For what? Man, fuck Pai, man. I don't know why Madueke was signed. He's not better than any of our wingers. I'm sure Ethan would put a par performance on right wing and Saka back up. Chelsea used the Newcastle template. Only thing that works against us, spoil the game, bank on counters, drop balls, need Gyökeres to win that type of game as he's a runner. I know we didn't have all our players available, and I'd make you right. They did do elements of that. But as much as I don't want to praise Chelsea at all, you're downplaying it, man. The way the passing lanes, the way they played, the way they capitalized on the fact that we were going to do 2 banks of 4 and be very compact. Reece James, Fofana offering a passing lane, flipping Enzo, all them little players in the pockets. It was Maresca. I can't lie, it's up there with, regardless of how the games panned out. But I was very impressed in how company deployed Bayern Munich, away from obviously the caliber of player, but Bayern Munich, Chelsea, Fulham, all your managers. I think you're giving us a lot of food for thought, personally, man. I saw Odegaard making multiple runs. Sorry, I saw Gyökeres making multiple runs. Odegaard could have made a through ball, but no, he decides to pass back. That's something he can fix up. Nonsense. Against Chelsea, we were screaming out for someone to bring some calm and patience on the ball. Odegaard improved us instantly. Everyone's still close to each other. I think some of these fans got memory loss or just suffering from a lack of love at home. Why hate on Odegaard? There's a chance Villa could be second by tomorrow night, bro. No rest for the wicked. We're going to need to be on it. Norgard would have bossed the mid with Rice against Chelsea. I'll take your word for it. That's why we need to rotate for Brentford. Then strongest team against Villa. Igor Thiago from Brentford's a massive problem. 11 goals in 13. He's in my FPL. And again, Eze or Odegaard, Odegaard or Eze or Odegaard, they both play for my club. Whoever wants to play, make sure the manager can't leave you out the team, because I actually like Eze playing centrally. I do think he could be shifted to the left. I actually don't want that to happen. Obviously, if needs must, it is what it is. I just think the minute Eze's form drops a bit, Odegaard, Arteta might go, Odegaard, you're in. Eze, you're there. I do think we're actually going to see Kai Havertz at some point. And I do think if Kai wasn't injured, you would have had to deputize up front. I think you're going to see Kai playing that Odegaard role. Obviously, Eze, Odegaard, they're better than Kai on the ball, breaking lines, all that stuff. But in terms of, the press, the areas you got to take up, all that tactical stuff, Havertz is up there. Like, Havertz and Marino are probably two of the most intelligent tactical players in our team. Not the best, therefore not the biggest shirt sellers, but you get the point. Odegaard is a big baller. If any Arsenal fan thinks otherwise, you are sipping mad puss. Eze can clear him, bro. They both play for Arsenal. You man are doing the playing favourites thing, man. I don't give a flying fuck. They both play for my club, bro. Norgard is physically stronger than Zubi. He suits these shithouse games better. DG, not sure if you spoke about it already, but what do you think about the header situation at the end of the game? I don't know if Gyökeres has called it. I don't, and Timbers aired it. I think Timbers fully within his rights to go and try. I would have loved for it to fall into Gyökeres, even though have we not said Gyökeres' strengths aren't necessarily heading the ball. My biggest thing is two things really. It's like it feels no two games are the same. But didn't Kai Havertz and Trossard last season in that very game at Stamford Bridge kind of have that kind of moment? So it's kind of a bit deja vu-y, if that makes sense. And I haven't been impressed with the last 3 years we've gone to Stamford Bridge, as I've stated. But the bigger thing for me is there's been games we've won, whether it's 1-0, 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, even in the North London derby or Atletico, where there's been chances players have not necessarily scored or converted, but we've done enough. If I can still remember, because football's a law of averages game, innit? You face less shots on goal. In theory, you shouldn't concede as much. You have more shots on your opponent's goal and more possession. There's all context around it, but you should be able to score more goals. I'm able to count on one hand how many chances we had. Like Saka had, I say couple subjectively. Saka had 1, 2. Nelly had a couple. The one at the end. If we're remembering these chances, obviously Marino scored. We ain't created enough. We ain't created enough or done enough. You don't beat physical teams by out-muscling them. You earn the right, then outplay them like we did versus Newcastle. I never want to see Havertz in midfield again. I don't. But I'll be lying to you if I said I don't think it would happen. DG, your love for Odegaard is disturbing. He's been poor for a while. He hasn't played in a while. Yes, I love Odegaard. I love every player that plays for the team. And you're hearing what you want to hear. I'm just not chatting shit and hating on the guy like you're doing. Like, what am I talking about? I clearly said the man weren't amazing. If you're going to get onto me, then please let it be for what I've exactly said. You're not going to gaslight me and do all of these things. And I've basically said, unless your name, once again, is Magalhaes, Saliba, Rice, Saka, there's probably a Timber, if I haven't said it, then your place is up for debate typically. What am I talking about? How can he be poor for a while? He ain't seen Donny in a while. Because he definitely wasn't poor before this injury. And I like Odegaard as a footballer, but he's not. I'm more on doing the shameless thing for Miles Lewis-Skelly. He weren't poor. Everyone was waxing lyrical about his appearances. Odegaard, remind these guys what you're on, man. Please remind these guys what you're on. Because again, some of you are having quite fair conversations. Some of you are taking it too far. Like, you're chatting. Party was good for us. 2 decent years, man. 2 decent years. Marino gets more GA than Havertz as a striker. I'm not getting pressed, but I will get pressed if you're getting onto me for something I didn't say. DG, why don't you like Norgard? Where did I, and stuff like this, where did I say I don't like Norgard? I literally go for it. Rewind this stream. Did I not back him and say allow him a bit when someone said he's meaty? Come on, man. Yeah, Odegaard's been a shadow of his former self. We need both Eze and Odegaard's skill set. No more slip ups. Let's get back to winning ways and clean sheets. I can't lie, I just take the winning ways. I prefer Marino up front over Kai, but against Chelsea, I would have preferred Kai just for the press, man. Looking back, we weren't aggressive enough, man. Like Marino, you just ain't got the legs for that, people. Speaking of Arsenal and whatnot, we've been here for so long, we've actually forgot. You lot, we get too engaged in conversations, and it's all lovers, by the way, people. Because at the end of the day, it's just football. But we do have a job to do. Injury updates. We're going to see in depth in just a moment what Mikel Arteta has fully said. But on William Saliba, a matter of days. On Trossard, a matter of days. On Kai, a matter of weeks. On Gabriel, a matter of weeks. What would you lot say if Gabriel Magalhaes comes back before Kai Havertz? And obviously our results of the season, all this anger, and we got 1 loss, 3 draws, and just bare other W's. But our next 6 games: Brentford at home, Villa away, Club Brugge away, Wolves at home, Everton away, Palace at home. That's naughty, isn't it? Come off the hour, come off the man, or whatever them knowledgeable dons say, yeah. But smash the like button. Mods, I can't lie. Some of my mods, you lot have turned shit. You lot don't keep telling people. You lot were in a good moment in the season. Smashing, always having good jobs about smashing the likes and whatnot. A couple of you're falling off. So before you talk to me about Odegaard and these players, hold yourself to those standards. That's a nasty run in it. Brentford at home, I back us all the way. Tough. Villa away, I think I'll be a lot nervy in that. I don't know why. I always am Villa away, even though I actually think we can move to them. Club Brugge is going to be tough. Obviously, beating Bayern, maybe you could rotate a tiny bit more than you would have liked. I think Arteta is still going to go strong in that. Wolves at home is 3 points in it. That's the only one you look at. And probably that's going to end up being our hardest game. That's the one where maybe can rotate, should be winning, thumping them up. Everton away, nasty. Crystal Palace at home. Pardon me, forgive me if I'm wrong. I'm sure that's actually that would be the 23rd of December, right? So that's the League Cup. Declan Rice was named Men's Player of the Year, people, in the We Are the FSA. At the end of the day, Rice won an award in it, so it's wavy. Make sure you're voting for our Puskas and Marta Award nominees. Declan Rice and Marona, Carl Denti, and Kyra Cooney Cross have been nominated for several awards. So make sure you clean up, Arsenal fans. Who would be you lot's player of the month? Now, I know who mine would be. There'd be 2. You have to share it. Like you have to share it. In fact, and I think all 4. You know what? You have to divide it in 4 ways. I think it's getting a bit unfair. Timber and Rice, it's not you lot's fault. You lot are wavy, you lot are amazing. You're doing your thing. You 2 deserve men of the month, well, player of the month, or whatever you want to call it. You do. But I feel like even when Gabriel Magalhaes was here, not that there's been many months, but I feel like you lot are always picking it up. So we might need to have an award for man of the month between you lot and have a next one for the rest of the team. But Tim Beasy doing what needs to be done. Declan twice doing what needs to be done. Trossard's been injured, in a very good moment, deserves to win it. I'm not going to lie, Eze's been good. And you know what? When you score a hat-trick in a North London derby in terms of an individual performance isolated to that 90 minutes, I can't tell you that that's not man of the month worthy. But I do think it papers over the cracks. If I'm honest in that you've been good, that was great. I think Trossard showed more consistency last month. I'll give it Eze because at the end of the day, first North London derby, hat-trick is a movie. But if I was removing the fan excitement, you can't look beyond Timber or Rice. But I'd probably give it Trossard then. Like over the month, if I had to exclude Timber and Rice, naturally, because it is unfair, I'd give it Trossard. But that's a good conversation to have, man. No Rice, there's no hat-trick. Deckers, Trossard has been our best player last few games in attack. Trossard, for me, I'll never take how clutch he is for granted. Eze can get man of the month too. Really? Man of the month? Really? I mean, to be fair, I'm acting because you was good against Bayern and you got the assist. But really? Or is it moments? Timber been playing with no cover for months. I hear it. Rice, the midfield boss. Rice, Timber, Rice or Trossard. Defenders don't get rated enough. Always attackers, so Timber. Facts. Look at us. Oh, now everybody rates fullbacks, yeah? Yeah? They're not calling us failed centre mids and wingers and strikers and all these things anymore. If you don't hit the like button, you'll get unexpected high bills. CS. Oh, God, I hear it. Smash the likes if you think Odegaard is mid, people. You're a nasty individual, Yoni. Nasty individual. Nasty. We need 6 out of 6 wins, no excuses. No. You can disagree, bro. You can disagree, bro. could disagree. Just get on to me for what I've actually said. No, I like Norgard. I just think Norgard's been a bit underwhelming in terms of he looks a bit timid, but I'm here for the Norgard thing. When I was getting all the content creators here, because you can go back the receipts to them and I'm like, oh, we've only found Norgard, these rubbish. When I say allow him, he's Premier League experienced, all that jazz. I'll shocked. I think you mean I'll be shocked. I can't lie if Gabriel comes back. Do you think Brentford will do man-to-man pressing against us? My unpopular opinion, and I might do a video about it, in systemic football, I think man-to-man pressing is the way to go. Chelsea did it against us. We were presented with issues. The game before that, we kind of did it in the first half, but we more committed to it against Bayern in the second. There is a correlation there. And there's probably some other examples. I think man-to-man pressing, it might be it. It is a gamble because you have to commit and you have to commit properly and things of that ilk. I think that's the next thing to come into this. Norgard is similar to Rice, just doesn't have the same engine as him. I like him, but nah. Yeah, Timber 2 Man of the Month has been excellent. Can we please like the stream if we haven't, guys? Rice, Baby, and Timber, consistent high-level performance. And it's true, and it's not their fault, but they're going to pick it up every month then between them. And obviously Magalhaes when he's here. Sacks, I'm not going to lie. I should be gassing up your thing as well. Norgard been immense for Brentford. I think he needs game time to get. All players need game time. To be really honest, like it is difficult when you've been out in the cold to just expect you individually to shine. And as much as you train and play with the teammates, you ain't got that match synergy in it. Now, Norgard's not an idiot. He must have known coming into this team. Zubi's playing ahead of me. Rice is there. There's a couple other men that can play midfield, but I will get games. I like Norgard. I got time for Norgard. What I haven't got time for is these injuries, but we're going to have to speak about them, guys and girls. On Saliba, he had a little niggle, so I think it's going to be a matter of days. So let's see if he's able to be there tomorrow. The ankle one earlier in the season was really random and a very unlucky action that kept him out for a few weeks. He tried at Anfield, he wasn't comfortable, and he had to stay away. So maybe we learned our lesson not to risk that one. This one as well, very bizarre, but hopefully it'll be a matter of days. Bizarre, you know. When has Arteta said bizarre? On Kai Havertz, matter of weeks. Let's see how it evolves in the next few weeks. He's doing really well. He's doing stuff on the pitch, but I think he needs some time. To be fair, Kai, I thought you'd be back before Gabriel Jesus, to be fair. Big Gabby is doing very well as well, but that's weeks as well. Then what else has the gaffer said? We tried to manage every case, every individual in relation to how they feel in the context of matches, adjust with the only purpose to have the best options on the pitch and to be better than the opponent. That's it. But I think every game that we play, when we look at the intensity in the Premier League against any opponent, what is needed is incredible. Brentford bring different threats, different challenges, and you need to dominate that if you want to win the game. Don't think anyone's going to disagree with that, to be brutally honest. Tab police, you always get on to me. You lot not happy tabs are being closed? Respect. So what else we got, Arteta? Where's the full press conference? There we have it. On the latest injury news. I'm not going to be able to help you much today because we have another training session later on. Until that happens, we won't know what's going to happen with a few doubts that we have. We've gone over that. Trossard, he said it's a matter of days. Once again, Magalhaes doing, a couple of days. On Brentford, there's an opportunity tomorrow at 7:30. Everybody, 7:30 kickoff to be at the Emirates, bouncing and putting energy to win the game. That's the opportunity that we have tomorrow, 7:30, like animals. Everybody at the Emirates, go again, beat Brentford. It's vital, massive. Our motivation comes from preparation and how we prepare for every game to try to be better than the opposition, where we are in the league and what we are doing. I don't think we need any more motivation than that. On resting players, we try to manage every case, every individual in relation to how they feel in the context of the matches, adjust with the only purpose to have the best options on the best pitch, and to be better than the opponent. That's it. So we kind of went over that. On whether there'll be an opportunity for Ben White, there's an opportunity for everybody, as I said. On physical challenges, well, that physicality comes from different areas in relation to the pitch. I think every game that we play, when you look at the intensity in the Premier League against any opponent, what is needed is incredible. Brentford bring different threats, different challenges. As we all know, you need to dominate that if you want to win the game. On whether we are seeing more time wasting, the game evolves, the rules evolve, and that's going to be constant. And you look in the Premier League now, how many minutes are we playing? The actual effective time that we are playing, the effective time that we played on Sunday, there are a lot of things to look at and evolve. So the keeper's going down as an example, Donnarumma, but there are many others that constantly evolve the game, and the rules have to be evolving because everybody tries to take the edge. on understanding the frustration. 100%, man. You know, it's great when you do it. It's annoying when it goes against you. It's as simple as that. When Arteta was asked about Kai, he had a big smile while giving an answer, matter of weeks. Then when asked about Big Gabby, no smile, same answer, matter of weeks. Not sure what it means, bro. Arteta's a liar, isn't it? Like all managers are liars. So we'll just wait until match day. Whoever's in the squad is in the squad. Could we see a front three of Gyökeres, Jesus, Saka? I've been trying to see that at least for a one game. Leao will never get his flowers. Our team is too stacked. Smash the likes. Look at the conversations we're having, even when we've taken a bit of a downer. Arteta he's on the mind games. This is why, for me, I just wait to the match day. Whoever's on the bench, whoever's in the starting 11, that's where we're rolling. On whether Declan exceeded expectations after signing, I think he's very close to what we believe that he could bring to the club. So that means there's more gears to go up ever so slightly to the team and the way he could grow personally as well. I think he fully deserves it. I think he's been incredibly consistent throughout the last 2 years. Last season, again, in big matches, in big moments, he's stepping up, which is a massive thing. You want to fulfill that role at a big club, and I'm delighted he's got it. On what if, I mean, how many times are they going to ask this guy the same thing about Marino up front? As a striker, certainly not. But that's the thing as well, that you learn when you sign a player. I knew that he could offer us much more than what he had. And especially after I met him for the first time, because a player that has that amount of curiosity and the amount of questions that he's asked, how much he's willing to learn constantly, the way he loves his profession and football, it's difficult to put limits to that. Because when someone wants to grow every single day, is that determined, is that hungry to win and evolve and be part of something, that's very powerful. And Mikel certainly has that. On why he signed Norgard, what I saw on the pitch and everything that I heard about him as a leader and the role he can fulfill and the role that he was going to have here. The moment I picked up the phone and spoke to him, he was super excited to join us. He brings something that we don't have in the squad, and I'm happy to have him. I mean, if you play him, we might be able to see. Arteta doesn't want to give any opposition any info. I appreciate that. Arteta trolls in the press. Forget about Kai. Won't see him till late Jan. Mikel ran him to the ground as well. False 9 takes players' knees. It does. You know what, yeah? I don't think I'll forget Kai Havertz. Like, he looked like he was dying against Wolves. And to be fair, Gabriel Magalhaes and Kai Havertz, I feel sorry for you lot in 2025. You've had 2 big injuries, man. It sucks. On David Raya. An amazing goalkeeper. It's a great story as well and how it happened. We tried to sign David much earlier. It was as soon as I arrived almost. So Ramsdale was never the first love. Then we had to wait another 2 years. The start that he had, the journey we had together has been phenomenal for us, and I'm very happy to have him. On whether he has been the best signing he's made, no. Gabriel Magalhaes, easy. It could slightly be Timber now. It could slightly be Rice. Maybe recency bias. But Gabriel Magalhaes, 100% for me, if you were to press me. What, Martin Odegaard? Trust me. It's a very difficult question to answer, but he's certainly one that is taking us to a different level. He's certainly a player that has brought something to our way of playing. On whether we'll see goals from open play, I don't know a team in the Premier League that doesn't like to score from set pieces. We just conceded a goal against Chelsea on a set piece. They had 7 corners, we had 8. I think we should all be set piece teams because we all score and concede from set pieces. Unfortunately, he's getting a bit arsey, isn't it? I would too. On whether the supporters could be any more positive towards the team, you can always be more positive, especially when you play a different type of game. That's where you have to lift the standards, the team, the fans, and ourselves as well. With the way we're going to play tomorrow, to lift everyone and make sure that we produce the same energy, atmosphere, and positivity around the place. On injuries being the theme of the season, when is it not? Especially how we lost them with Leao as well, because Leao was in a great moment and Gabby Martinelli was just coming back and we had to manage his moments. He wasn't able to play more than he did on Sunday. So managing that, the fact that obviously Willian trained the day before, then he was uncomfortable. Players are not training in certain positions, having to play there. But again, the attitude towards it and the way the players are performing and giving absolutely everything they can to fulfill those absences, it's been a key part of the season because we have to deal with a lot already. On last season, preparing him for this year. Yes, because this season has been the worst in some areas, especially in the front line. And now what's happening, I don't know, Arteta, because with all the injuries we had last year, we weren't putting in certain performances and racking up 3 points. I don't know about that. But it is the first time, I think, it was, for a long time, it was clustered in attack. It's gone a bit different now. And now what's happening with the back line? But we learn we're able to put together a squad that is much more reliable and has more options. We learn from the past as well that we have to use players in different positions. They have to be able to fulfill different roles if we want to compete at this level. And for example, Mikel Marino, that I was expressing before, is the best one probably. He'll never stop gassing Marino in it. Onkai having a setback. He was doing everything. He could not go to the level, and it's now looking like we have unlocked that. We're all desperate to have him. It's a player that personally I love so much for what he brings to the team, his character, his personality. I see him suffer being outside. His playing record is phenomenal. He's always been available, but I can't wait to have him back around the team playing now because I think it's going to be a massive boost for the team. I can't lie, Arteta. There's a couple man, Gyökeres, Kai, maybe Madueke, that like injuries can happen. Rice even injuries can happen. But it seems like players that have a clean rap sheet with injuries, the minute you start kicking ball for our team, like start breaking down, innit? I don't know, Arteta, man. We try turning it on and off again. On Rice being the lighthouse. Rice is a lighthouse. He's everything. Rice is everything. Declan twice. He can never do anything wrong. I fucking love this lad, mate. That's the way I perceived him. That he could potentially be a lighthouse. And now he's become a lighthouse, which is very difficult to do at a big club like Arsenal. Caicedo couldn't, but he fully deserves that. He's done it with every step of the way. First of all, behaving, acting with performances and an attitude that are at the highest level. He's one that I'm sure myself, the club, and for sure we're going to have him for many years. On what he's learned this week. Well, starting from Spurs, I learned a lot as well about the international break again and what happened. For example, what happened with Gabby, how we can correct that so that never happens again. How? And we played a team game in a way that, again, we have to learn. And watching them, you always learn from it. Bayern Munich brought different qualities, players that you don't see weekly, but we needed the potential of it and obviously what they were doing, and we took a lot from them. Then last week, the same amount of games that you have to play within a game. True, it did feel against Chelsea at the Bridge. It was mini games across the 90 minutes. And what happened at Stamford Bridge in that sense, it's enormous because I think it's the perception of what happened and actually what happened and why it happened. So it was a huge learning. This is what I tried to say in my tactical thing, but fans just get emotional. On whether teams will copy Chelsea and Sunderland's aggression against Arsenal. You can be aggressive, bro. You can be fucking aggressive against my team. You can be defensive, mid, low blocks. I'm praying all of you open up because the language I'm seeing on social media is, oh yeah, if you have a go against Arsenal, you can move to them. I beg you, please, I beg you, do that. Aggressive against who? Everyone's aggressive. You can't bully us. Sunderland, I think the aggression was more relevant than Chelsea. Like, yeah, you're snapping at us and you're fouling and that. But before I look at them being aggressive, there was many things that I feel the manager and the players, whether our key players was or wasn't involved, that we could have done, bro. Don't try and run that aggressive bullshit against Chelsea. Taking a piss. Pardon my language, people. I think every team in the Premier League, the first thing that they do is be aggressive. I don't think that's going to be something that teams are going to change at all. You take it to certain extremes, as we saw. Hopefully that will be looked after. It should have been in the first action of the game on kickoff with Mascara, but we have to learn from it and use it in a better way because we should have explored what we had for a period of time. It wasn't 60 minutes because from 33 to 39, we didn't play. Then there was another player on the floor. Then the next 4 minutes, we didn't play. On how he prepares for this busy period, there's a balance to it. Huh? Is there? Obviously, independent. Sometimes we play 3 days after, sometimes 4 days after. Obviously, the schedule brings a scenario that is free, so we are used to it. We alter the preparation, probably in the physical part a little more, but rely much more on principles and what we have to do, then tweak what we have to do in relation to the opponent's strengths and weaknesses. On whether he sees fixtures as a block of games, you have to. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes you play against a back four or teams that are very direct and rely or want to take the game to a restart or a set piece, or against other teams that are completely different we faced. For a period of time, a lot of back fives, a lot of low blocks. Then this block of 3 games has been different, true? So sometimes, well, to be honest with you, Spurs are the only one that were pussy holes. I can't say Bayern and Chelsea were. So sometimes you're lucky. So you say, okay, now for this period, that is going to help us for the next few games. Sometimes you just have to alter it. On Saliba's injuries being random. Well, the ankle one, it was really random and a very unlucky action that kept him out for a few weeks. He tried at Anfield. He wasn't comfortable. He had to stay away. And this one as well, very bizarre. But hopefully it will be a matter of days. I hope so, man. I hope so. This is irrelevant to you lot, people. I'm just reading this in relation to Bukayo Saka, so we can skip through that. I don't want to hear about uncharted waters. This article is talk. I always read these things, talking about why Mikel Marino's giving Arteta a headache. Let's not be dumb about any of that. Arsenal staff have always viewed Marino as one of the most tactically intelligent players in the squad, and his evolution as a striker proves that. I'm not denying it, but come on, man. Come on. It's a tool in the squad. Gyökeres, these men need to be up front. Simple as that. And you obviously do know Arsenal agreed deal to sign 16-year-old Ecuadorian twins Edwin and Holger Quintero from Independe del Valle. Agreement in place after Quintero brothers traveled to London this week to join. Deal valid from when they turn 18 in 2027. That emerged from ESPN, which again have echoed that we've agreed a deal in principle. They will join once they turn 18 in August of 2027. The 16-year-olds are in London this week and are expected to complete formalities, including signing their contracts, ahead of a formal announcement at a future date. The fee involved is currently unclear, but the move continues Arsenal's drive to recruit the best talent of the next generation, which will include confirmation in October that another 16-year-old Victor Ozanova will join the Gunners from Shamrock Rovers in January 2027 when he turns 18. And he's actually knocking on the doors of their first team. The club that we bought them from in Ecuador did produce Caicedo and Hincapié, Kendry Perez, and Ordonez, who have just apparently joined Chelsea. So, yeah, and apparently Arsenal beat our competition from a host of top clubs across Europe to land the Quintero brothers. Sources have told ESPN the Gunners have been tracking the pair for well over a year. Edwin Quintero is a pacey right winger who has been reportedly drawing comparisons with a young Neymar, while Holger is viewed as an attacking midfielder. The deal is viewed as something of a coup for the club's academy recruitment team, and sources say a key factor was the clear pathway to the first team identified by the progress of 49, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Ethan Wanyeri, and most recently Max Dowman. Dowman turned 16 in December, bro. Madness what we've got going on over here. We're still being linked with Bohaya of Frankfurt people. We've covered that before. That's probably owing to the fact that he's struggling for minutes at his club currently. Romano has said, simply poured cold water on Miles Lewis-Skelly to Chelsea. Seems like it's still going and going and going. There are always rumors about Miles Lewis-Skelly. During the international break, rumors about loans, maybe Crystal Palace, maybe West Ham, goal play, World Cup, no chance. Arsenal don't want Lewis-Skelly to leave. And there are rumors about Chelsea. Today in England, rumors about Chelsea considering a permanent transfer proposal for Miles Lewis-Skelly. Forget about that. Miles Lewis-Skelly is Arsenal. Arsenal are very happy with Lewis-Skelly and they are not considering to part ways. Lewis-Skelly is seen as a really, really, really important part of the squad. Super appreciated by Arsenal. I don't know whether these rumors are always coming from constantly about Lewis-Skelly, but he's part of the project. He's not leaving in January. Arsenal want to keep the player and trust the player. That's the message I'm getting from both the player side and the club side. So what happens in the next few years, I don't know. But as of today, I can guarantee 100% that all of these stories are not true. Interest in Lewis-Skelly, guys, is normal. Who is not appreciating that kind of fantastic talent? But there's nothing really concrete to it. Because for Arsenal, he's a really, really important player. So that's important to clarify. And also, Arsenal will not be stupid to wait till January and maybe lose a player. They are competing to be on point in all competitions and maybe lose a key player. So, yeah, it's not making sense for us. We've gone over the Ecuadorian twins. Wanyeri, a few weeks ago, was linked with a move away, people. I don't know why that is there. So, Tab Police, you're right. We can close that. Arsenal and Barcelona apparently have joined Chelsea and signing Drago. He was formerly at Schalke. He struggled for a bit. Since he's obviously joined the new team in Leipzig a couple of, I think it wasn't last season, the season before, or it could have been in the summer. He's finding his feet. He's actually got injured at the moment, and he's probably going to get into the German squad for the World Cup. 3 goals and 4 assists in 12 appearances, people. Arsenal, Barcelona, Liverpool, as well as Chelsea are looking at him. Apparently, he has an estimated transfer value of just 13.6 million. However, his contract at Leipzig isn't due to expire until 2029, and it's reported that that side could earn a fee of up to 100 million euros next year. I mean, you can bump Liverpool. They've shown it. They spent money on Wirtz. Real Madrid are ready to sell Rodrigo next year amid his record-equaling goal drought. The 24-year-old has been linked with several clubs: Arsenal, City, Spurs. The list goes on, people. He's falling out of favor with Xabi Alonso, as we know, people. He has now gone 30 club games without a goal. He last scored in March. Yeah, but are they being shameless and including friendlies and all that? You're not getting 100 million euros for that. He needs to buck up his ideas. Reportedly, Arteta has been blown away by Villarreal winger Alberto Melero and views him as a candidate to join Arsenal. And simultaneously, Finchales, I can never pronounce their name, Spanish publication, is saying Martinelli could make way for this. I don't believe it, do I? We did see this yesterday, but there's a potential loan exit for Gabriel Jesus from January until mid-2026. Allegedly, Palmeiras have opened early talks to bring the forward back on the deal running until June 2026 with an option to buy at the end of the spell. The report stresses that the move depends on Jesus' situation in North London. The claim is that the transfer will only stall if the 28-year-old suddenly starts receiving regular minutes under Mikel Arteta. At this stage, that looks unlikely given the competition created by Victor Gyökeres and others. And he obviously wants to play in the World Cup, so we'll have to see how that one goes, people. The black Japanese goalkeeper, Zion Sakuzi, apparently Arsenal have sent scouts to watch him. I can't imagine that because you have Kepa and Raya. Well, I can imagine you're sending scouts because you want to know what's going on and the players and whatnot. It could have been scouting other teammates and things of that ilk, but don't expect us to buy him anytime soon. Dan Burn has said Kai Havertz and him have blessed the beef as well, people. He said, we had time to go for a few drinks and we saw some of the Arsenal lads. I just got chatting to Havertz. We both said that's just the way it is when we play. All right, cool. That's how it should be. That's what Sunday League is. You go to war, then you buy each other a pint. Are they including games he hasn't played in? That would be pretty shameless. They can't, surely. They build you up as a kid just to tear us down. Miles is a kid. Let him develop while playing for one of the biggest clubs in the world. I hear it. Warren's there in the chat talking some level of nonsense. We need to sign Luis Enrique as soon as possible while we can still win the league. Not okay with low testosterone cowardness in my club. Damn. Zubimendi needs to learn how to tackle. Oh. Oh. Zubimendi's third. Funny that, lad. Big up Tim Beasy for being up there. Paulinho, that makes sense. Nico Williams. Well, you know what? It makes sense for these guys. Unlock data. Man. Bro, why you always got to sign up for shit, man? No. You get the point. That's interesting, though, man. That's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So good. So good. Unique qualities. P. Zibamendi FC. We're here to the death, mate. Hey, P. We can agree on that. Rodrigo Mora, baller, but at the same time, blood. Wonga. And then some. Wonga and then. Do you not see Fabio Vieira? He bagged the other day and he's been sent off there. Which, better, if you can flog. Next seat, I can't lie. Next summer, enough's enough. Fabio Vieira, Nelson, like, come on, clear them off the things, man. I think there's something wrong with the grass in North London / Hertfordshire because Spurs seem to be getting a lot of injuries too. Probably at this point, bro, it could be anything. It could be the oxygen. It could be the cars. It could be the food. It could be, I don't even know, the greengrocer. To be fair, though, like, they're kind of on other sides. No, they're not that far. Like, Spurs' thing is in Enfield and it's a fucking good training ground, I must admit. Ours is London Coley. It's not probably about 40 minutes if there's no traffic. I reckon by car. Whoever co-signed Pablo Marie should have been fired immediately, Charles. Bless up yourself, SJ. Oh, where's the comments gone? Oh, there we go. Please hit the likes, guys. Hit the like button and subscribe. Hit the bell so you don't miss streams or uploads. We are slowly getting into that drawing games phase. I'm worried 5 points from the last three. I lie, man. I lie. Less of that. Also, the press isn't your friend. Arteta is smart enough to walk on a thin line with them. Many are just looking for quotes to exploit. Less energy needs to be put on his presses. True. Big up, DG. Big up yourself, Warren. I hope you're coping in these tough times. Appreciate you, man, because I know what you're referring to. I think you should beat Brentford still. There, 5 months left of the season. All you need to do is match City or better them from here. Now, I can't lie. For me, it's a thing where don't be happy that you drew. Don't be happy that you drew against Sunderland. Get back on it. Just win your games. I genuinely think everybody in all the teams, you have to obviously you're going to look around, but you need to focus on yourself. The time for preying what's going on, it's March, it's April, it's May. Mikel doing all that hiding stuff is the goofiest thing I've ever seen. They have footage / data of your players. What are you hiding? You know, I kind of like it, man. What's going on here? If you have possession most games, your tackle numbers will be low. Who said Zubi needs to learn how to tackle these tacticals, man? They just come up with some bullshit every day. To be fair, it's not a tactical. And we're all allowed different opinions, man. P's my guy, though, but he knows I'm going to defend Zubimendi. How many signings in Jan? What positions we targeting? I don't think we sign anyone in Jan unless it's some youth players away from obviously these guys that are going to join in 2027. I don't think we sign anyone in Jan. If it was up to me, I'd love a left wing. I wanted that in the summer, innit? I'd love a left winger. Get involved in the Semenyo thing. If you can bring me an 8 or a 6, ideally a physical 6, man, so we can start looking after Declan Rice. We'd love that. Nah, you didn't say nonsense, man. I just saw, you know, I saw you replying to someone, and you come on, man, you're always trolling there. Appreciate you, Jerome. Suzuki. Ain't something else called Suzuki. Bring him up. The black Japanese keeper. United tried grab him. He didn't bang. Like, sub, notifications on, hype, share, comment, and join the channel. This is how we move closer to 100k in that plaque for DG. I disagree with that. That plaque for us. It's going right here. I heard Thiago got a knock. Ain't it better for Spurs to rest? Sorry, for Brentford to rest Thiago as Spurs next game, and is a much more winnable game. I hope so. Follow that. But Brentford, bro, they can cause problems. They can cause. And to be honest with you, Sunderland, Chelsea, all we need to do is watch the footage in that and how we can see the goals. Because if you play like that, Brentford are having a field day. Brentford are difficult, man. Very difficult team. Didn't they beat? They lost to City in it, but they could have got something in that at their place. They're a difficult, stubborn unit, man. What do you think of Edison of Atalanta? I like him, but he's gonna cost peas, bro. Unless his contract's running down, he's gonna cost peas, man. We weren't getting injuries until we started singing that North London Forever song, by the way. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but the facts don't lie. How on God's green earth did we get there? I hear it, though. I like the song. It just shouldn't be the rally cry, innit? I do like it, but it just shouldn't be the rally cry, man. Like, what is it someone said earlier about the testosterone thing? It's too middle classy and it's not aggressive enough still. But you know what? Long may it continue. On that note, though, I'm just cautious of time. I'm sure you lot are bored and don't want to hear this boring old voice. So as usual, appreciate you lot for tuning in. Appreciate you lot hitting the like button. If you haven't done that, you know what to do. Tomorrow we'll have a late stream where we react to Arsenal Brentford. So yeah, man, I'm off to edit this Quintero brothers video for you lot. But I appreciate you lot for offering your time. Smash the like button, all that good stuff. Safe. You always